Okay, everybody, I thought I'd finally go over that day that Gracie almost kicked me when I went to go let her go into the arena for horsey playtime, and talk about some of the things that I was doing, some of the things I was thinking about. I mean, you've already kind of seen how I've worked with her. I mean, if you've been watching videos, you've seen how I've started to work with her head and all that kind of stuff. This is a different situation. This is where I'm not trying to touch her head. I'm just trying to let her go. And it's not over. I wouldn't say it's too uncommon to see horses let go to go play, to go out to a field, to go be with their buddies, to go be with their friends, go have a scratch, a roll, eat some grass, whatever it may be, and they run off. And once in a while they'll kick when they leave. They'll, be a little bit more, I'm not sure if aggressive is the right word, but I would sort of put it in the same category as disrespectful or not kind or uncaring, sort of around that kind of thing. And it really is anthropomorphizing their feelings in a way, because more or less the action is get away from me, or I'm out of here and I don't want you to come with me, or something along those lines. I would find it highly doubtful to think that it's some kind of playtime. And in this video you can actually see that it wasn't actually playtime, because if it was playtime she probably wouldn't have responded as she did after I let her go and then went to go capture her again. She seemed quite upset, to put it simply. So I'm going to go over the video here on the screen, and I've got it on my computer in front of me so we can watch it together, and I will talk my way through what I'm doing and what I'm thinking, and why I'm thinking it or why I'm doing these things, and perhaps it can help. It's another one of those situations that is just lucky to be caught on camera. You couldn't really make this kind of thing happen. I mean, I suppose you could try to be, trouble enough to a horse where they might think that they don't want you around when they go leave. But I definitely wouldn't find this behavior is unacceptable to me. It's not something that I ever want. I don't want it for me. I don't want it for any of my horses to feel that way when they go to leave me. I'd like them to leave quietly. When they get a couple of steps away, they're welcome to take off. But those first couple of steps should be a little bit quiet and checking in to see if I'm going to need anything further, I guess you could say. And it's totally achievable. So that's my goal with Gracie. We'll see what happens. So let's start playing this video right now. And it starts off, I had brought her out of her paddock, simply just bring her out of her paddock, let her have a couple of bites of grass, and then off into the arena. And she walks in, which is great. She stops and then sort of curls around me to the front. I'm not a big fan of that, but I did sort of just say, well, that's going to be the way it is. Now, I haven't closed the gate here. I'm obviously feeling rather confident, but in good practice, I would close the gate. Okay, I'm going to stop it here, actually. Because there's so much has happened, so many signs that she's given that tell me that there's going to be trouble. And I kind of knew it at the time. I thought, I don't know, let's see how this goes. She just kind of leaves me a little bit troubled, then I'll let her go. But she went too far, and I knew I had to come back and try again. And if we were to roll, if you were to go back a little bit to look, you can see that her neck is a little bit bowed. She's kind of got her head up and then it comes down, but her neck sort of curves in the back. That's called a bowed neck. And there's an old saying out there that says, somebody says, don't bow your neck up on me. Meaning, don't get defensive, or don't start showing some aggression, or don't start showing that you're about to act up or something along those lines. So I can kind of see definitely here in the video, she's sort of bowing her neck up. I'm taking her halter off. She always gets kind of a little bit nervous about that. She's not overly comfortable. You can see she's a little bit stiff. The fact that she continued on and around me to come around the front and curl up, she did square up, which I'm quite happy with. But in reality, when I stopped my feet, so should she. I just hadn't really enforced that. And so she'd kind of come around. So I'm a little bit worried. I know I'm a little bit worried here, so let's just continue on. So the things that I'm doing, I'm kind of trying to hold her in, and I'm trying to scratch her, and she goes to leave, and she kicks out and takes off because she's had enough. My scratches and all that kind of stuff were just her tolerating me doing it. It wasn't something that she was really looking for or wanted. Unlike Lena, if I were to do that with Lena, she would just stand there until I was done, and then she might even try to follow me a little bit further, but maybe wander off. Gracie was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get away. So her mind was always away, which is not what I want. I want her mind to be a lot more with me. It takes time to get these things sometimes, and those habits that you don't really work on in a real good quality fashion. You get this. This is what you get. So it's about this time that I realized I'd probably better deal with it. So instead of going to close the gate and dealing with going to leave, I stop her and I ask her to be with me. When I go to approach her, she shakes her head, and now she's giving me her butt. Completely unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. So I continue to cut her off, and you can see she's sort of bowing up. She's getting pretty worried. She's ready to give me her butt at any time. If I were to get close enough, she would absolutely kick out. So we have a little bit of a race, so a bit of a cutting race. If you've ever cut cows or cut anything out of a group or something like that, or a horse, this is the sort of cutting maneuvers where she's trying to escape. She's stuck in the corner, so I'm okay with that. I don't mind having her sort of trapped in the corner a little bit, and I'm cutting her off left and right, and staying. I'm gonna stop it there, and staying pretty neutral when she becomes neutral. But I'm not going to let her leave, and I'm going to be ahead of her drive line the whole time. If she does find a way to relax, I am going to completely come down. Just chill out, take a breath maybe, relax a little bit, show her that I'm not excited. What are you excited about? I just need to catch you again, settle down. I'm not going to beat you up or nothing. So she doesn't want to be caught again. She'd like to go run free. She loves running around. She loves rolling. She loves playing. She loves snorting. She loves kicking out. But not yet. So I've got her in the corner. I'm lucky I actually still have her in the corner here. She could have left, but she didn't. So I've got her in the corner, and I'm still trying to get her to square up. As I approach her, she does sort of give it a try. But she's back to giving me her butt again. So I'll make a little bit of move, and as she sort of turns around and gives me sort of a half face up, I'll let off. But if she doesn't, then I hit my leg there and ask her to kind of come back and pay attention to me. And she's got some moves here that she's probably figuring are going to work. That she's not going to back up and kick me. And I'm not trying to give her any reason to, but I'm definitely telling her, you can't leave. And you can see every once in a while she sort of lifts up her front. If she was a real jumper, if she thought that jumping would be the answer, she would have jumped the fence by now. But she doesn't. So as she swings her butt around, she's definitely trying to see if it has an influence on me. Am I going to leave? Do I act in fear? Most of my response is quite calm. I'm making very small movements. It is very hard to bring a horse down by making large movements. You want to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm talking to her here. I talk to my horses an awful lot. I am constantly using my voice in different tones and different speeds and different volumes. There I go to check in with her and sort of touch her nose and reach for her shoulder a bit, as she gave me the opportunity to touch her nose because she was reaching back to me. So here I'm really just letting her know, it's okay. I just need to catch you again. Would you please let me do that? So I've done it from the side, which is fine. I'm going to just lead her on. She's a little bit worried. She's pretty up, I guess you could say. So I'm going to have her come back through, and I'm leading her this time with my arm to come around and have her stand. Now, she's not overly comfortable with this yet. She's still probably thinking she'd rather be somewhere else, and now she's got to tolerate all this touching all over the face and the head, and she really does. I'm not gonna let up. Now, one of the things that I have worked with her quite a bit, especially when she was stall bound, is when I go to play with her and do all kinds of stuff, if she puts her head all the way down, I leave her alone. I stop. I actually really do want her to keep thinking about that. When a horse lowers their head, their heart rate kind of goes down a bit. Now I know I'd only put my halter on. I got a special halter. It's got a big knot on the end. I just kind of put it through the rope halter. There's a hole, and so I'll just put it through there. It stays on pretty good, but I needed to tighten it up. Now, here I'm just going to continue to work on things that I know bother her. It's a great opportunity. Whenever I have these kinds of things, I love getting the opportunity to work on things that I know that they're no good at. So if I had to go catch her again, then the idea would be, well, now you're with me again. Now you're going to have to put up with all this stuff. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a lovely place for them to be, a really comfortable place, like somewhere where they can just relax. I'm going to be playing with her. I'm going to be touching. I'm going to be doing things, reassuring her the whole way, get her to move her feet around. She's very jumpy to move her feet. And I'd like her to just move around a little bit. So I'm coming around her side, working on her left side, touching, and rubbing and scratching and coming around and touching her other side, pat, 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 pat. These types of, what's the word I'm looking for? These types of sort of actions that can instigate a response can be really effective. Not necessarily for instigating a response, but for not getting it. For saying, you know, I'm just patting you on the side, don't worry about it. And it's light, it's just a light tap, 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 make some noise, pat her on there. And when she calms down, we'll kind of move forward, we'll step back to where we started. I'm always trying to think about, where did I start with all of my stuff? Where did this session start? Where did the action for all of this start? And I'll try to get back to that spot. So as I reach for her halter and she still kind of moves her head off, you know, I'm still thinking about, well, how far can I get with this? But I'd like to loosen it. I don't really want to go and keep her tight on me. I'd like her to have a little bit of space. And so we take it off and then see how she does when I take it off of her further. And she's had a lot of experience at this, because the first time I ever got her, I actually had to just essentially rope her around the neck. I couldn't halter her at all. And so she's had a lot of experience being led just from the neck, which I highly encourage you to do if you've never done it before. And here I'm just trying to talk to her. I'm just trying to rub her. I'm just trying to tell her everything's okay. I'm touching her with my arm and the side of my body, and then I'll put my hip into her chest a little bit, and I'll touch her in more than one place, quite a few places actually. And I'll just get her to be with me and not just tolerate me, but just be wondering, okay, what do you want to do next? Hopefully she's going to get that. She's free now, and she has every opportunity to leave, but she doesn't. So I continue to apply a little bit of reassurance and touching, and then when I go to leave, I'll send her off. So she actually got to a point where being with me was actually not too bad. You know, I moved her feet around, I touched her, rubbed her, scratched her. If she stopped moving, we went back to the place that we were at, and just started fresh with some, you know, some touches here that's not going to bother her too much, but it's something that we can work on. And then when I felt like she was with me, it was an opportunity to finally just let her go, but keep her with me, be able to hold on to her, do nothing, just stand there together. And then she's now thinking, well, I wonder if he's done, because he's just probably going to catch me again anyways. He's quite good at that. And over time, it really sticks. And the more you move along that, the more it will be reassuring and comforting for them to be with you than to be away. And it can go a really long way. So that's my goal with her. That's what happened there. The kick was, you know, a little ways away from me. It didn't come too close, but it was pretty bothersome. And if you were to look back and see, and I'll show it up here actually, playing that in half the speed, my reaction time to her kicking was really late. Proof that horses are very fast. Because I think I'm kind of quick. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty quick. But no, her kick was over and done with within a second. and that's hard to react to, so you have to be very careful. So anyways, hopefully that's been interesting and informative, and if you have any questions, let me know anytime down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.